Well, what's up, good people? How's it going today, tonight, whatever time it is where you're at when you're looking at this video? I am your boy, Brother Mark, Kaka Mark. Call me what you want to call me, but don't call me nothing bad. I've been sitting here thinking, I was doing some work, and I was just thinking about the last couple of weeks that I've been here in Zanzibar, and just thinking about some of my experiences and whatnot. I've been getting a lot of questions about what's it like, and any tips and any things that I would tell somebody who's trying to move and things of that nature. So I said, man, let me just sit down real quick and just do a quick little video. I don't know how long it's gonna go. I'm just gonna kind of shoot from the top of my head, no edits, none of that good stuff. I should go live, but I'm a little scared of technology and not ready to embrace that part of YouTube just yet. But the first thing first, like I said, just going off the top of my head, some things that takes a little bit of getting used to from my perspective is number one, dirt roads everywhere, man. Dust everywhere. Now, I'm not in a city area, so to speak. I guess they kind of consider this more country-ish, I guess you would call it, man. I'm right by the ocean again, so a lot of the roads and a lot of the areas going into the villages and whatnot, man, there are dirt roads everywhere. And when the vehicles are driving by, that dust is going everywhere. I think I have a sinus infection of some sort, and it could just be my body reacting to the dust all the time and just getting used to that. But that's definitely something that takes a little getting used to. Back in America, I had my own vehicle, right? So you get used to driving everywhere. You want something, you hop in the car, boom, you run to the store. You want something, you want to go to the mall, boom, you go to the store. Over here, I don't have a vehicle. Now, I could have a vehicle, but driving is a whole nother situation. So I'm a little scared to even rent a car or drive a car or anything along those lines. Probably sometime in the future, I get a motorbike, a bajaji, or a three-wheeler, or something like that. I'm going to have some transportation, but I want to make sure that I'm ready when I take that on. I say that to say, taxis can get expensive. All right, you have like three major forms of transportation. You have the bajajis, which are like little three-wheelers. If you're not familiar, you go to some of my old videos, and I got some on there with the bajajis. You have the motorbikes, what they call them border boaters, and then you have the taxis, right? I guess you could also take a bus also. I haven't gotten there yet. Again, I have a little bit of understanding of Kiswahili, but not to the point where I want to hop on a bus and then be dependent on somebody to understand what I'm saying to say, next stop and let me get off on time, or, just putting myself in a situation where I wouldn't be able to get off where I want to get off, or having to go too far, or anything of that nature. So I say that to say, if you're in my situation, or if you're in a situation like I'm going to be in, where you're depending on somebody else's transportation, drivers can cost money, and if you're taking a taxi, depending on how far you're trying to go, that could run you between $4 to $20 a day, depending on what you're trying to do. Typically, for where I stay and what I do, maybe $4 one way, $4 back, so maybe like $8 a day, every other day, something along those lines. That's what you're looking at paying for transportation. Like I said, I do a lot of walking. I don't mind walking. I feel like the locals walk, I can walk. It's not a big deal. Again, I'm trying to get myself back in shape and whatnot, so it helps me to kind of shed a little body fat, do a little extra cardio as well. It's just sometimes, man, it's hot. Let's say you just walk from a nice distance, you get to your destination, and then you realize you forgot something. That's when you don't really feel like turning around and hopping right back out there. So those are the things that take a little getting used to from time to time. Everything here is bigger. Now, what do I mean by that? Back at home, back in the States, we have lizards, right? But you normally got the little small lizards. Nothing too big. You grab it by the tail, fling it off, whatever the case may be. Over here, you got like big old salamanders, big old, almost look like baby crocodile, baby alligator type lizards. Them things something else, man. I was doing like a little shoot today uh, for like a promotional video, and the apartment I was in, it was loaded with ants. And I mean, I'm not talking like the little ants, the little fire ants that we got. These jokers was like some big old um, dinosaur looking ants. You know what I'm saying? So that's something different. Okay, your fruits and your vegetables are bigger, so that's a plus. But um, I was gonna say the cats, but the cats, they look a little bit emaciated. I'll be honest with you. Some of the animals, the cows that I see on a daily basis, they're not being pumped up with steroids and things of that nature. So those are not necessarily bigger. You can tell those animals are natural, and you know, your food is fresh. You can taste the difference, like with your chicken and your beef and all that type of stuff. It has a different flavor just because you can tell it's fresh. Your vegetables are fresh. All that good stuff is fresh. So all that is cool. All that is cool. So I won't complain about that. Um, let's see, man. I should have took some questions down, but the other things that um, ice is one of the things that you don't have access to the same that you would in the States. You know, as far as using water is concerned, I'm looking at the faucet right now. As far as using water is concerned, we use a lot of bottled water. The water in the sink is okay for brushing your teeth and washing and whatnot, but um, they don't really claim that it's good for drinking, right? I don't know if my stomach can handle it. I haven't even tried. So what I'll use the bottled water for washing my, brushing my teeth, and for cooking and things of that nature. In the sink water, I'll use that to rinse things out, and then I'll take a paper towel and dry it out just to make sure none of that water is in there. Another thing you can do is boil your water also, so that kind of helps also. Like I said, I don't think I've had any reaction to the water. I haven't had diarrhea since I've been here or anything of that nature, any stomach issues, um, but definitely drinking bottled water all the time is a must out here. The big, pretty much 5 gallon plastic bottles of water will run you 5,000 T shillings. So that's the equivalent of almost about $2. So it's not really that pricey. It's just a pain in the butt to carry. Those things are pretty heavy. So if you're carrying 5 gallons on your shoulder, um, it takes some getting used to. And some of them have the hand straps where you can kind of put your hand inside it and hold it like this. But I'll be honest with you. Um, in America, we've become spoiled and lazy. We've become soft, right? No calluses and things of that nature. So it starts to hurt. you know. Now, on the flip side, I seen an old lady. I call her old. She might not have been old, but she was probably in her 50s, right? When she was grabbing that thing and just walking with no problem, going to her destination. So, um, they say adapt, improvise, and overcome. Well, obviously, she has adapt, improvised, and overcome or overcame. So, hopefully, I'll get there too sometime. But that's just a couple things off the top of my mind that kind of stick out to me. Um, if you have any questions in particular, go ahead, put them in the comments. Let me know, and I'll be sure to answer them. But I didn't get into anything really deep. I kept it surface level. Um, things as far as buying land, that process, registering businesses and things of that nature. All of that is a whole nother can of worms. It can be pricey, and it's something that you definitely need to do your research on before you look at somebody on YouTube and you give them your money. uh, I'll leave it at that. Not trying to get in trouble or make enemies, but do your research. You got to do your research. Make sure the land that you're quote unquote buying is actually land that you can buy, that will be recognized by the government. Um, Make sure that the person that is selling the land to you actually has the authority to sell the land to you. Uh, Make sure you have a lawyer involved. And I'll just say this, when you're moving, um, everybody pretends that they're your brothers and your sisters. Not everybody has your best interest in mind. Um, Even those who claim to know the Most High Yah, sometimes they see you as a target. Sometimes they see you as a mark. Sometimes they see you as a sucker. Sometimes they see you as a quick way to help them make it for another week. So you have to be cautious with who you do business with. I'm not just talking. I've had my own experience that didn't go the way the way I wanted it to go. Hindsight is 2020. However, it worked out for my good in the long run. I look at it like going to college, right? Sometimes you pay for your education. Um, this was a pricey lesson, but it wasn't backbreaking, I guess, if that makes any sense. Um, it was just something where I remember Bernie Mac said a long time ago, if somebody asks for money and he loans it to them and then they can't pay it back, he's not going to chase them for the money. In his words, he just bought you for $20 or $40 or whatever the case may be. So in my situation, to me, it reveals your character and it lets me know not to do any serious further business with you in the future. So I say that to say sometimes you don't want to make the same mistakes that somebody else has made. Uh, Try to reach out to multiple sources. Try to vet anybody you're dealing with. Uh, the general rule of if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is, kind of applies from time to time. And I think it applies in this situation as well. Um, that's as far as land and buying property and things of that nature. Lawyers and building a business and this and that. Get multiple quotes. It doesn't hurt to get multiple quotes. Compare, contrast, see if it looks like the numbers are lining up. Um, if you can use locals as much as possible. Um, Another big thing is, and I'll say this and then I'll wrap it up. Another big thing is don't be afraid to try to learn the language, y'all. Look, they laugh at me all the time, and I enjoy the back and forth of messing up and learning, right? Duolingo is a great app. It's great for building your vocabulary, but it's nothing like being in the trenches trying to talk of that talk. I have we have a Kiswahili teacher that we meet with. He's really excellent. If you're interested, let me know. I'll give you his contact information. He's looking for additional students. Um, and being able to get drilled on things that you take for granted or learn proper pronunciation or proper application of different, verb tenses or noun tenses or noun classes and things that sometimes we take for granted in the English language. You can't beat doing that with an extra human as opposed to just dealing with an app. The app is great, like I said, for vocabulary, for helping you to, become familiar with certain terms and, how certain things sound. But man, being in the trenches, having conversations with people is going to be the fastest way to actually pick it up. Um, and I think from my firsthand experience, it makes people respect you more. It makes them warm up to you more. You build relationships, right? Um, I see people, and this is my last thought for real. I see people complain all the time about they don't like being looked at as a mark or being looked at as a target, or they see us as dollar signs, this and that, that and this. And I get it. I understand that 100%. But you have to realize if you're coming from a Western society, the dollar has a higher value than the T-shilling does. It's almost double, right? So if they see that you have double the earning potential, or if they think that you have double the earning potential, rather, they're going to feel like they can charge you a little bit more and it's not going to hurt you the same. right? Don't be offended by that. And again, play the long game. Establish relationships, become friends with people, and eventually you'll be accepted and the prices will drop. All right. I know we all don't have the most money and we're trying to make the best, financial decisions and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, if you're haggling with somebody over 1,000 T-shillings, it's the equivalent of haggling with somebody over 40 cents. Meanwhile, when we're in the States, we pay taxes on everything and we don't say anything about it. We don't even have the option to complain, right? But over here, you got people who might work all day and make a very small amount of money compared, but you mad at them for trying to make an extra dollar or $2. To me, that ain't hurting nothing. That ain't killing nothing. Support these people. Help them to grow. And in turn, that becomes a mutually beneficial relationship. And all things that we do, especially if you're transitioning from the States, you should be moving toward building mutually beneficial relationships. It's time for the two sticks to link back together. We got to link back together, man. We're one, right? We got to unify. We can't keep seeing each other as different. We can't keep thinking one is better than the other one. You're not my brother. You don't know my struggles. Our struggles might be different, but they're still the same. They're still the same. So that's my 2 cents on it. I'll do some more videos in the future where I just kind of sit down and run off the top of my head, run off the dome. If you like this type of stuff, let me know. That'll give me a little more encouragement to do it. And if you don't, say that too. I'll stick to the boom boom boom. I'll stick to those videos because I like listening to my little song. So that's what it is. Almost 20 minutes of talking. I know that's a long time. So I'm out. Y'all have a good day, a good night. Have a good something. And thanks for watching. See you soon.